So I'm just an idiotic, stupid dog. And far be it from me. Far be it from me. I probably don't know anything about what I'm talking about, but today we kind of beat up on two black dudes. You know, Herschel Walker, who deserves to get beat up on, put a gun to somebody's head, his ex, whatever, girlfriend, his wife. He disowns four of his, he's only keeping up with one of his kids, and that kid's rejecting him, saying you're a moron, you're a goof, you're a bastard, you're a screw loose. You know, and he's saying the thing about Herschel is he says there's no exceptions, but the one exception is when I knock up my girlfriend. That's an exception. That's the one. I got to go with that one. And then we went over to Kanye. Ye with the White Lives Matter T-shirt, drawing all the attention to himself and all this and all that and the other thing. You know, so we're beating up on the two black guys. So I said you got to balance it out, or we'd be looking like we're systemically racist here on this YouTube channel. So we're going to beat up on Brad Pitt for a while. Brad Pitt was strangling his children on an airplane, and he was batting them around. He's forcing wine down their throats. He got wasted drunk. He was battering this one, that one, the other one. The only time it comes out is that when he's having a dispute. So him and his ex-wife there, whatever her name is, they're having a dispute over who owns the winery. Like when she wanted to divorce him and get control of the kids, all the bad stuff came out. Then you didn't hear so much of the bad stuff. It settled down, and Brad wasn't considered such a bad guy. But now they're fighting over the winery thing. So now all of a sudden, it's coming up. I mean, and Kim, she's got deep connections. I think her goofy father, I mean, not Kim, whatever, Kim Basinger, whatever Brad Pitt's wife is, the Tomb Raider Crip girl. Her dad is a maniac and a freak and a Trumpicon, and I think she's got some of those deep-rooted connections. Listen, the thing is, with these people, you never know what they're up to. But Brad doesn't strike me as, a striker and a strangler of adopted children. But who knows? It could be. He was definitely wasted drunk. He's probably slapping the kids around. I mean, sometimes you got to slap the kids around a little bit, and you can make a big thing of it when you're fighting over the winery. But Brad, who knows? I don't know. Brad got sucked into this whole thing with this tribe, these crazy people. They're adopting kids from every which place. They're adopting when they're 16, 17 years old. It's like, come on, how are you going to bond with a kid when you adopt him when he's 16, 17? So maybe Brad had to smack him around a little bit, Who knows? But it doesn't matter. It's okay. I always just like Brad, Brad's one of them guys, like, whatever he's doing, he could look old, he could look shady, he could be, I just always is cool. So I have a hard time believing it, but we got to beat up on him a little bit. I'm sure he was wasted. I'm sure he was smoking weed, and I'm sure he laid hands on a bunch of people who probably didn't need to get their hands laid on him. He's frustrated. He's frustrated with the whole thing with his wife and the fact he's losing his family. And he was holding on to something. And it wasn't real. That's the part that really tore Brad up and made him go off the deep end. He thought he was part of something, but it turned out he was on the outside. When the jet landed, the whole family, they got a different jet, and they left him on his own jet. You know how isolating and horrible that has to feel when you're on your own jet and your family leaves on a different private jet? And he probably got, 2 or 3 floozies to come on with him, or who knows, maybe a couple starlets. Who knows? We had a couple buddies, and they probably had a great party. They probably flew to, I don't know what, Montenegro or someplace where they could play dice or something and walk around naked. So, it must have been horrible for him. The whole thing, the separation, the anxiety, the trauma. So who knows? But Brad, you got to beat up on him a little bit. You got to smack him around a little bit. Now, this is what I'm going to say. He's looking a little bit, older and cruddy around the eyes. He's looking a little bit, he's getting to that, that thing where it's like you're wondering, did he mummify his skin on the face without the makeup and the lighting? He's looking a little bit old, and his hair's looking a little stringy. He needs to get that Aaron Rodgers cut where he just leaves the good hairs and cuts all the other ones off. Even if it looks freaky and weird underneath a hat or a football helmet or whatever, you got to get rid of the bad hair and just keep the good hairs. And that'll be better for Brad. Brad would probably do better that way.